The silence of the safe house is deafening. Jungkook hasn't returned for days. Y/N walks restlessly through the living room, the news playing softly behind her. TV anchor. Another suspected arson attack last night. 3 known criminal warehouses destroyed. Sources say this is part of a major gang war. She turns off the TV, her hands trembling. Not just from fear, but from not knowing who Jungkook is when he's out there. Y/N to herself. You said you were burning it down. How much of yourself are you burning too? That night, Y/N tries to sleep but can't. She lies curled on the bed, staring at the ceiling. A sudden knock on the door startles her. She runs to open it. It's Namjoon, blood on his arm. Namjoon quietly. He's okay. He didn't want me to come, but I couldn't watch you worry like this. Y/N. Where is he? Namjoon. He's taking care of the last piece. But he's not the same. Too quiet. Too cold. Y/N presses a hand to her mouth, a tear slipping down her cheek. Flashback, young Jungkook. Dark hallway. A boy no older than 8, hides behind a cracked door, clutching a wooden toy. His father screams in the background. A maid runs past, blood on her sleeve. The boy doesn't cry. He listens. He remembers. Father off screen. If you want to survive, kill the weakness first. Even if it's your own blood. Back to present. Jungkook stands outside the ruins of a house on the city's outskirts. His childhood home. Walls scorched, windows broken. He walks through it like a ghost. He lights a match. Drops it onto the wood. Watches it burn. Y/N steps out of the hospital after shift. An older woman approaches her. Wrinkled hands, kind eyes. Woman. You're the girl staying with Jungkook, aren't you? I used to work in his house a long time ago. Y/N surprised. You knew him as a child. Woman nodding. He never smiled. But once, he stole food to give it to me when I was sick. Got beaten for it too. Still didn't stop. He never stopped protecting others. Y/N's eyes widen. She realizes she's only seen the surface of his pain. Late at night, Y/N hears the front door creak open. She runs down the stairs. Jungkook stands there, soaked in rain, blood on his collar. Silent. She steps forward to hug him but stops. He doesn't move. His eyes are hollow. Y/N softly. Are you even still in there? Or did the war win? He finally speaks. Jungkook. It's done. They're gone. She reaches for his hand, cold. Shaking. Y/N. You promised you'd come back. Not just your body. Jungkook lowers his head. Jungkook horse. I'm trying, Angel. But I don't know how to live without war. The next morning the house is quiet. Jungkook sits at the edge of the bed, shirtless, bandages wrapped around his ribs. Y/N prepares breakfast but keeps glancing over her shoulder. Y/N gently. You need rest. And food. He doesn't look at her. Jungkook. Rest is for people who deserve peace. Y/N walks to him, holding the tray. Places it near him. Y/N. And you think you don't? He finally meets her eyes. Jungkook. No. Not after what I've done. Later that day, Y/N finds Jungkook standing near the window, watching the rain. She walks to him, arms crossed. Y/N quietly. Talk to me. Or we both drown in silence. He sighs and finally speaks. Jungkook. I was 12 when I killed my first man. He was coming for my brother. I didn't have a choice. Y/N's soft gasp. You have a brother. Jungkook clenches his jaw. Jungkook. He died a year later. Couldn't handle this world. I made a promise over his grave, that I'd never be weak again. Y/N walks away after his confession, overwhelmed. She steps into the bathroom, stares at her reflection and whispers. Y/N to herself. How do I love a man who only knows pain? She throws water on her face. A knock at the door. Jungkook from outside. You said once you weren't scared of me. Were you lying? She opens the door slowly. Y/N. No. But I'm scared for you. For the boy who lost everything and thinks revenge will fill the void. He looks at her for a long moment. And nods. Night falls. Jungkook tosses and turns in bed. Y/N sleeps on the couch. Suddenly, a nightmare jolts him awake. Cold sweat, harsh breath. He gets up, walks to the living room. Jungkook whispers. Y/N. She opens her eyes immediately. Sees his broken expression. No words. She lifts the blanket slightly. He lies down beside her. Quiet. Will. Y/N. Don't talk. Just breathe. I'm here. They wake up still close. Neither ready to move. A calm moment that feels like the eye of a storm. Y/N softly places her hand on his chest. Y/N. I won't ask you to change. I just want you to be free from your past. Jungkook. If you knew the full truth, maybe you wouldn't even want me. He pauses. Y/N. Then show me. Let me decide. Jungkook closes his eyes. But outside, a car watches the house. Inside it, Y/N's ex stares at her through binoculars. A message buzzes on his phone. She's the key. Don't let Jungkook take her too far. Y/N exits the hospital after a long shift. The sky is heavy with clouds. As she walks toward the gate, a voice calls behind her. Y/N. He turns shocked. Y/N. You. What are you doing here? It's her ex, Ian, standing under the hospital entrance, holding an umbrella. A ghost from her past. Daniel gently. I just needed to know if you were okay. Y/N frowns, heart pounding. Y/N. You disappeared months ago. Daniel. Because it wasn't safe. For either of us. They sit at a cafe nearby. Y/N keeps checking her phone, worried Jungkook might see. Y/N. What do you mean it wasn't safe? Daniel. I can't say everything. Just know I've always tried to protect you. Y/N, narrowing her eyes. Why do you talk like you know something I don't? Daniel. Because I do. And soon so will you. Before she can ask more, Daniel leaves. Yes. She watches him go, more confused than ever. That night, Y/N returns home, finds Jungkook in the hallway loading a gun. Jungkook calmly. You were with him. Y/N freezes. Y/N. He just showed up. Jungkook looking away. And you went to talk. Alone. Y/N angrily. Because I'm not your prisoner. And you never told me anything about him. Or yourself. Jungkook softly. He's not who you think he is. Neither are you. Y/N confused. What's that supposed to mean? Jungkook. When the truth comes out, just remember, I didn't lie. I only waited. Y/N can't sleep. She searches the spare room Jungkook rarely uses. In an old drawer she finds a folder, full of photos and names. She flips through until her breath catches. A child's photo that looks like her. A name she doesn't recognize. But the birth date matches hers. Suddenly, Namjoon enters and sees the file in her hand. Namjoon gently. You weren't supposed to find that. Not yet. Y/N whispers. Who am I? The next morning, Jungkook sits beside her in silence. She holds the photo tightly. Y/N quietly. My name wasn't always Y/N. Was it? He nods. Jungkook. Your real name was Yejin. You were reported dead in a raid. But someone smuggled you out. No records. No memories. She stares at him. Y/N. And who was I to them? He hesitates. Jungkook softly. You were Mark's sister. Y/N sits silently in the garden, a blanket around her shoulders. Her phone lies next to her, the call from unknown still haunting her mind. She keeps hearing his voice. Mark on call, echoing in her head. Little sister. It's time you come home. She closes her eyes, whispering. Y/N to herself. Why now? Why after all these years? Footsteps approach. Jungkook gently. You've been out here for hours. Y/N without turning. You didn't bring me into your world because of me, right? You used me to get to him. He freezes. Y/N stares out her window at the moonlit sky. Memories begin flooding her mind. Unfamiliar faces, laughter, a boy with warm eyes. Denial. She clutches her head. Hurts. She turns sharply as Jungkook enters. Y/N. Tell me the truth. Did you know who I was before we met? Jungkook quietly. No. But Namjoon suspected. After he ran your records. Y/N hurt. So I was a mission. Jungkook firm. No. You were a miracle. She looks away, whispering. Y/N. I don't know who to believe anymore. Namjoon hands Y/N a sealed envelope found during a search. Her name is written on it, in a handwriting she doesn't recognize. She opens it slowly. I watched every birthday you celebrated alone. I stayed in the shadows so you'd be safe. I'm sorry for the silence. Mark. Her hands tremble. Y/N whispering. Why does this feel real when I barely know him? Later, Y/N finds a photograph in her drawer. Her in denial. Her smile looks real, but she doesn't remember it. Namjoon enters. Namjoon. Denial was placed near you by someone powerful. He wasn't just an ex. He was assigned to keep you hidden. Y/N shocked. By who? Namjoon quietly. Mark. She clutches the photo. Y/N. Was any part of my life real? Y/N visits the safe house's chapel alone, a quiet place Jungkook once told her helped him think. She kneels at the front, hands clasped but not praying, just asking the silence. Y/N softly. Jungkook or Mark? Which one is the real danger? Tear falls. Behind her, Jungkook watches but says nothing. Jungkook internal. I'd give her the truth, but I'm afraid she'll walk away when she hears it. Y/N sits in her room holding the bracelet she wore since childhood. Something about it always felt strange. Namjoon steps in with a small scanner device. Namjoon. This isn't just a bracelet. It's a tracker. Military grade. Only someone from inside the underworld would've planted it. Y/N stares at it, heart sinking. Y/N. Mark kept track of me. All these years. Namjoon. He didn't just watch you. He protected you. That's why Denial was sent. Flashback. Denial sits across from Mark years ago, a file in his hand with Y/N's photo. Mark. You are to guard her without ever revealing the truth. You'll be the only family she has. Denial, hesitant. What if she falls in love with me? Mark serious. Then walk away before you break her. Back to present. Y/N stares at Denial's photo, questions flooding her mind. Y/N voiceover. So even my love was part of their plan. Y/N stands on the rooftop, watching the city lights, wind brushing through her hair. Jungkook appears behind her but keeps a small distance. Jungkook. Say something, Y/N. She doesn't turn. Y/N softly. I don't know who I am, Jungkook. I don't even know who you are. He steps closer. Jungkook pleading. I didn't use you. Not for war. I fell for you before I even knew your truth. Y/N shaking. But did you fall for me? Or for what I could do to him? Mark stands in a surveillance room filled with screens. One of them shows Y/N on the rooftop, alone. Denial walks in. Denial. She's scared of you. Mark softly. She should be. I built a world of blood to keep her safe. Denial. She's drifting from Jungkook. Mark. Let her. At least I won't destroy her heart like he will. He switches off the screen. Y/N lays awake in bed, the silence crushing her. She opens an old voicemail on her phone. From Denial, left a week before he disappeared. I loved you, but I wasn't supposed to. I broke the rule. I stayed too long. I hope one day you forgive us. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Y/N quietly. I don't know if I can. Late at night, an envelope is slid under Y/N's door. She picks it up and reads. You don't have to choose between monsters. You can come home. Attached is a small charm. A pendant that once hung on her childhood bag, now rusted but familiar. Y/N softly. I remember this. She presses it to her chest as the memory flickers. Fire, screaming, a man lifting her through smoke. Her breath quickens. Was it Mark? Jungkook storms into Namjoon's office. Jungkook. He's trying to take her. I know it. Namjoon, come. She has the right to know him. He is her brother. Jungkook frustrated. He's dangerous. She won't survive in his world. Namjoon. And yet, you brought her into yours. That hits hard. Jungkook's shoulders drop. Jungkook quietly. I didn't mean to fall in love with her. Y/N walks into the dining room where the entire team is seated in silence. Taeyong slides a phone toward her. Taeyong. Mark wants to talk. Call. Your choice. She hesitates, then picks it up. Mark voice soft. If you come with me, I won't touch Jungkook. I'll disappear forever if that's what you want. After you hear the truth. Y/N quietly. And if I don't, Mark, then the blood he spilled to have you will be returned. With interest. That night Y/N finds Jungkook outside, sitting by the koi pond. He looks up, eyes tired. Jungkook. If you go to him, I won't stop you. But I won't pretend it won't break me. Y/N stays silent. Jungkook softly. I don't want to be another man who tried to control your life. I just want to be the one you choose. She looks at him, eyes full of tears, torn. Y/N. I don't know what's real anymore. The next morning, chaos. The guards are down. No gunfire. Just a smooth, silent breach. A black car drives away from the estate. Y/N is inside. Not kidnapped, but she left willingly. On the seat beside her. A letter she left for Jungkook. I'm not running from you. I'm running to the truth. If there's a we after this, you'll have to fight for it. Jungkook finds the note too late.